Hi. Today we'll be talking about Squid Game and analyzing some different reactions towards the TV show. Yeah, here's a little trailer for you. So Squid Game is a South Korean TV show that was released last year on Netflix, and then literally like everyone was talking about it. So we definitely wanted to dig deeper into those different kinds of reactions to Squid Game. So first, we wanted to consider some critics reviews. So we thought that critiques would be more focused on the more technical aspects of the TV show, such as themes, camera angles, and set and character designs.
Yeah, and we also thought like people, the more general public would be more focused on their responses and feelings toward the characters and scenes rather than the technical aspects. And we thought Twitter was a nice place to find like people's general reactions.
Yeah, and to analyze the critics reviews, we found this existing data set from Kaggle, which included IMDb reviews and ratings of the TV show. And then to analyze the data set, we used Vader Sentiment Intensity Analyzer to find the overall sentiment of this tweet.
Yeah, and then for the more light reviews, we use Twitter as our source, and we use the advanced search function that Twitter has to find tweets related to Squid Game in the month of its release. We chose to like do a specific time frame because people were actually starting to talk about Squid Game again more recently because of like it got an award for something, so there were a lot of tweets related to the award. And to conduct the sentiment analysis, we used the same methodology as the reviews.
Yeah, so for critiques reviews, we categorize them into uh, positive, negative, neutral. And as you can see, neutral was the most common category of these reviews. And then also positive was more common than negative reviews, but still there are more neutral reviews. Yeah. And then also we did some analysis on the number of ratings or like how they rated the show out of 10. And then as you can see, there's a kind of like a linear progression towards the higher ratings. So we can definitely see that the higher ratings were more common than the lower ratings. With the sentiment analysis, we also try to find the most common words in these reviews. So as you can see, the words like character and one are very common, but also we found that good, love, and plot were specifically more interesting because love seems very like subjective compared to like the other words. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then these are some example Squid Game reviews. So for example, on the left, there's a positive review. They said that they genuinely enjoyed the show, and then it's a true social commentary on humanity, competition, and avarice. So it's a very like generic kind of comment, especially on the context of the show. On the other hand, there's a neutral review, and then they're saying that they're not sure about all the hype, but they thought the direction, cinematography is all good. So it's more technical.
And we also looked at the Twitter reactions, and we found that the majority of them were also neutral, with again leaning toward positive. And when we looked at the words that are associated with the tweets, we found that like finish and good were the main words. A lot of the tweets, since we manually collected them, we could like read the tweets, and a lot of them were just people saying, "Just finished Squid Game," and I think that was because people were leery of giving spoilers to others, so they didn't want to like delve too deeply into the plot. And here's some examples of a specific tweet. They're just saying Squid Game's a lot like real life. So it's not really saying much about the reaction, so it's pretty neutral. And then here's a positive tweet. I normally can't handle blood and gore, but it was worth it. So they have a positive reaction toward the show. And it got a lot of reactions. So it's like, I almost thought this was the year 2018, likes and then 26 retweets. So for next steps, we're thinking of like manually coding the variants because as you could see, like for both the tweets and the reviews, the majority of them were perceived as neutral, and we think that it might not actually express the sentiment of the reviewer, and that having the nuanced perspective of like a person being able to better indicate the tone might help with dispelling some of the unnecessary neutrals. And then another next step is to like analyze public perception of specific characters, particularly ones that were polarizing, like Songwoo. And then since in Twitter, a lot of the people didn't like go too deeply into like the actual content of the show, we're thinking of exploring other platforms where people might be less concerned with spoilers, for instance, like Reddit. So yeah, that's our analysis of Squid Game. Hopefully no spoilers.